Hello again, Neil Shawnee here, still from the Random Knowledge Bites, and with my fourth in my little series about how to modify your approach to management to deal with managing remotely or managing perhaps hybrid teams. And I've saved the toughest topic for last because what many people struggle with most at the moment is motivating others from a distance. We all know what motivation, no, we hopefully all know what motivation is. It's the feeling we have when we want to do something. It's the feeling that drives us forward and helps us to work more quickly and efficiently. What's sometimes less understood is what it actually means to motivate other people. From a management and leadership perspective, motivating others is about taking positive, decisive actions to create those feelings of motivation in others and, let's say, a desire to achieve greatness or success in another person. And yes, there are certainly some general things we can do to motivate groups of people. And we all know what these are, things like sharing the organizational strategy, giving feedback, thanking people for their effort. But in fact, motivation is much more effective when people are treated as individuals who have specific motivational needs. Because people are individuals, and that's what they have, specific motivational needs. Motivating others is something which many managers find to be a challenge even under normal circumstances. And when you then go and throw remote working into the mix as well, the changes that brings about in working practices and communication and environment, that makes the task of motivating team members when you don't even have face-to-face time with them particularly daunting for a lot of people. So if you struggle with this, if you struggle with how to motivate people remotely, you are definitely not alone. So we need something a bit more concrete, a little bit less focused on just your charisma stood at the end of the desk as you give people a pep talk. And yeah, we all like doing that, don't we? But it now needs to be something based on something a little bit more solid and something which you can personalize to individuals in your team. If we categorize people by what motivates them, then people fall into three main types. And I call these the three C's. C number one is people who have a competitive motivational preference. And these people thrive on having the opportunity to be the best they can be and for that to be noticed by others, whether that be peers, direct reports, or perhaps their managers, which of course is where you come in. C number two are people who have a contributive motivational preference. And those are people who have a feeling that as an individual, they want to be contributing to something greater. They want to know the impact their work is having on something bigger than they are, maybe the team success or the organizational success, or ideally, the world in general, the environment, other people's self-development, perhaps that kind of thing. It's about knowing why you're doing something and seeing the results for what you add. And my third category of people are people who have what I call a comfortive motivational preference. And these people thrive on feelings of being in control, on knowing that they're secure in their job, in their position, and knowing that they're really sort of solidly good at what they do, that they are doing the best job they can. Now, there's no right or wrong in motivational preference. Of course, it's just the way people are. But what's important to us as leaders is that we need to notice the differences between employees and target our motivating interactions accordingly, even when we are remote. So there you go, my last in 4 little videos about remote management. If you would like more information on any of this, do please reach out to me. You can visit my website, knowledgebites.co.uk, and you can use the contact page. You can connect to me on LinkedIn. You can, if you're viewing this video on LinkedIn, you can make some comments below. If you want any tips or want to talk a few things through, then do reach out. I'll be happy to talk some things through with you. I've got some training courses on these topics as well, called the remote. I can't even say it. It's the end of a long day. Called the Remote Management Toolkit, and I'll be happy to send you details of those too. Other than that, thank you for joining me on this little series, and all the best as you lead your teams from a distance.